All right, man. Big Fred here. Here's a guide to how to work through conflict with the one you love. All I'm about to tell you is in the framework of being holy because the Lord your God is holy. This is in First Peter 1:16. So the first thing you have to train yourself to do is respond properly. Now the Bible says you should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. This is in James chapter 1:19. So, to start with, you must train yourself to take a quiet moment before you respond. You can't listen and talk at the same time. Don't say something as soon as she finishes all her sentences just because you can. Wait at least 5 seconds and don't let any sound come out of your mouth until then. And then at that point, you can assume your authority. Rule and authority number one: if what you are about to say is not going to make her feel better about herself, find a different way to say it. Rule and authority number two: do not repeat yourself. Do not say what you just said politely and clearly in a different way. Combine this with the following rules of engagement, and you'll be speaking her language. So here's the rules of engagement. Once you're aware of what's upsetting her, you're going to start with step number one, and that is to comfort her with a full hug accompanied with, I'm sorry I scared you. I'm sorry I frustrated you. I'm sorry I embarrassed you. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings, etc. And then you express to her that you weren't trying to do that. Now we move to step two. Tell her how you're going to better handle things the next time the same or similar situation presents itself. Do this using an isolated plain statement. Don't use any stylized language, no sarcasm, no idioms, no metaphors, no analogies, no figures of speech, no profound statements that'll put her in her place, uh, nothing to state your case, etc. Step number three: you're going to listen until it's silent. Um, don't say anything before the silence. It will be painful, but you got to be tough, not a wimp. Uh, you must not interrupt her. Um, After you've heard everything she has to say to the point of silence, you're going to acknowledge her in step number four with, thank you. I'm glad you told me so that I can keep it all in mind in order to better handle things the next time the same or similar situation presents itself. I'll definitely try to do things differently or better next time. This brings you to step five. Now, if you're forgiven at this, you might be forgiven at this point. But if not, if you're not forgiven at this point, and she asks, what are you going to do? Your answer is, I'm going to, and then you're going to go into telling her how you're going to handle things the next time the same or similar relation presents itself. And then you mention to her, if that's not enough, I'm going to ask, I'm going to have to ask you to be patient with me as I get some more advice from, and then you tell her who you would be getting advice from. At this point, if she asks you, what do you think about what I told you? You're going to answer to conclude with, I agree with what you said. First thing, I did apologize to you. Can you forgive me? And you wait for your answer. And then you respond with, okay, I'm going to. And then again, you go into telling her how you're going to handle things the next time the same or similar situation presents itself. And then you mention to her, I'm going to have to ask you to be patient with me as I pray on this and get some advice. Then we go to step 6. No more quarreling from this point on. James chapter 4, 1 and 2 goes into why. You control whether you're drawn in or drawn out. You politely said what you said and you meant it. So don't add to what you said. You said it clearly. So, fellas, you follow these steps to the T and you won't lose. But here's some backup scriptures for you just in case you want to feel more solidified. So in 1 Corinthians, you can look at 1 Corinthians 13, 4 to 6, especially verse 5. Ephesians 5, 23. Genesis 2, verse 20. This goes into her being a suitable helper. And you got to remember her role is to help you be holy, not necessarily right. Ephesians 5, verse 21. Titus 2, 4 and 5. Titus 2, 6 to 8. And then Luke 6, verse 2. So there you have it, fellas. Didn't want to take up too much of your time. Just want to give you a quick guide as to how to navigate through conflict with the one you love. Talk to y'all later.